this video guitar lesson, I'm going to go over several different ways to play the F sharp minor chord. And if you're a beginner, I'm going to start out very easy, very basic, and then we'll get more and more advanced as we go. Let's begin. Here's a very easy way to play the F sharp minor chord. It's great for beginners. This is how you do it. Put your third finger on the 11th fret of the G string, your second finger on the 10th fret of the B string, and your first finger on the 9th fret of the high E string. So all together. So you'll notice my fingers are not perfectly straight. They're at an angle like this. And also, my fingers are not flat, but they're curved like that. Also, my pinky is kind of hugging the third finger so that it doesn't accidentally muffle one of these strings. So it's sitting right there. For this chord, we're only using the first 3 strings of the guitar, and so that we don't accidentally play any of the other strings, what I do is I rest my palm on them so that they're muted. So I play like this. So that's one of the easiest ways possible to play the chord. Let's take it up another level. So this one, you put your third finger on the 11th fret of the D string, and then your pinky goes on the 11th fret of the G string, but it's right up against the third finger. They're kind of helping each other out. They're squeezing together. So it's like that. And then your second finger goes on the 10th fret of the B string, and your first finger on the 9th fret of the high E string. So all together. And again, I'm not using the A string or the low E string, so I'll rest my palm here and play like this. So that was a little more challenging. Let's take it up another level. Now for this one, you put your first finger on the 9th fret of the A string, and then you put your third finger and your pinky on the 11th fret of the D string and G string, again squeezing together. These two fingers are helping each other to play. Then you put your second finger on the 10th fret of the B string. So all together. If you're a beginner and you're not able to put your second finger here yet, you could play the chord just like this. And that's called an F sharp power chord, and that can work sometimes in place of F sharp minor. And here's another way to play a F sharp power chord. So you put your first finger on the 2nd fret of the low E string, and then your third finger and your pinky go on the 4th fret of the A string and D string. So keep practicing the chord like this, and eventually you want to get to where you're also playing the high E string with this part of your first finger right here. So your first finger will be straight across the first 5 strings of the guitar on the 9th fret, like this. And then you just add these fingers here. To mute the low E string, I have my palm here again. But if I want to do some really big strumming with my right arm, what I could do is bring my first finger up a little more and kind of muffle the low E string with the tip of my finger, like that. And now here's another way to play the F sharp minor chord. So this one, you put your first finger on the second fret of the G string, B string, and high E string, like this. And you can muffle the D string with the tip of your finger. Just make it nice and flat like that, and it's not perfectly straight like the fret, it's kind of at an angle, like that. And then I'm using my second finger to help press down, like that. Because without that, it's a little harder. It can be done, but it's easier this way. So that's a lot more challenging if you're a beginner, but keep practicing that every day. And you don't want to do it like this when you're practicing. If you're playing a song, performing, you can go ahead and do it that way if you need to, but when you're practicing at home, always use your first finger so that you're building strength in that finger, and it gives you the ability in the future to be ready to play the full bar chord on all 6 strings. Once you get good at that, you can add another note. You can either use your third finger or your pinky on the 4th fret of the D string. Once you get good at that, you can try putting your third finger on the 4th fret of the A string and your pinky on the 4th fret of the D string, so those 2 fingers will squeeze together and kind of help each other out. And then you can play the chord like this. So this way, believe it or not, may be actually easier than doing it this way, because these 2 fingers are helping each other, and then these 2 fingers are helping each other. Another way you could do this chord is leave off the high E string. So this way you're just barring the G and the B string. And then if you accidentally play the high E string, it's okay because it'll be muffled like that. And now here's how to play the F sharp minor chord using all 6 strings. It's called the F sharp minor bar chord. This is how you do it. So this one is quite challenging. So what you do is, you don't want to put your first finger flat like this. You want to kind of roll it this direction so that you're using this part of the finger. You can see the lines from the strings there. So you roll it like that, and the goal is to be able to get all 6 strings to ring out. Like that, and then you just add these 2 fingers right here. The hardest part is the middle part of your finger has to get this note right here. So sometimes it might buzz a little bit, but just keep working at that, rolling it this way, and you can use your second finger to help push down. I've been playing guitar a long time, and I still have trouble with that one sometimes, especially on acoustic guitar, so I'll usually use some of the other methods that we've talked about. If you'd like to watch more of my videos, just search Guitarincrease. My name is Brett, and I thank you so much for watching.